Hello, America. I'm Mark Levin, and this is Life, Liberty, and Levin Sunday. Welcome to the program. We have two great guests. We have Peter Schweitzer and Eric Trump. Very exciting to talk to them. I can't wait. But before we go there, as you know, President Trump's peace deal is incredible. It is iconic. It's historic. I spent yesterday's monologue explaining why I thought so. And I think this is something that will be discussed for a very, very long time in a very positive way going forward. But I have a suggestion. It's not, nor should it be, the end of the peace process. The greatest danger and threat in the Middle East, which has spread to our country, our hemisphere, other Western nations, Britain, France, you name it, is Islamist terrorism. While it exists beyond the Middle East, the fact is that the Middle East is the hotbed of ideologically centered Islamist terrorism. It's where their so-called scholars are. It's where most of the headquarters are for the worst of the groups. Again, not just there, but there. So until this is addressed, even beyond Hamas, there can't be a permanent peace. I'll prove it to you. I don't see a budget request to eliminate all of our counterterrorism infrastructure, all the personnel and all the funding, nor should there ever be. It remains a deadly threat to we, the people of the United States. Now, to be more specific, until Arab and Muslim countries like Qatar stop funding it, promoting it, and exporting it, and using state-run propaganda operations that are wildly popular throughout the Arab and Muslim worlds like Al Jazeera, until they stop using them to spread it throughout the Muslim and Arab worlds, the eternal peace we say we want simply will be an illusion, even as we rightly celebrate the release of the Israeli hostages and hopeful cessation of war in the Battle of Gaza. And who should address this? For one, the countries that are harboring these terrorist organizations and the countries that are sustaining them. It's a dirty little secret that several of these countries fear these terror groups, cheer on Israel as it fights Hezbollah and the Houthis and Hamas and Iran. But they seek appeasement. They want to appease them and redirect them toward the West, towards Israel, towards a so-called two-state solution. This is not our battle alone, or Israel's battle alone, even though people try and create that scenario. This is the battle between the West and Islamist terrorism. This is the battle between civilization and 7th century primitives. It's not about anything else. Other Arab and Muslim countries actively partner with terrorist groups, while also engaging our country and other Western nations on diplomatic and economic grounds, playing a very sinister and deadly game. And most Western countries seem okay with this, as most of their leaders would rather not confront the evil side of these nations while embracing the benefits of their economic largesse. For example, we see some Middle Eastern countries serve as both perpetrators and mediators. This is the perfect time to put an end to this. The fact that the president effectively, at least for these purposes, unified these countries is probably the most historic aspect of the Trump peace plan. But the time is right with the Trump peace plan to use this historic achievement to go to the next level, to protect us, to protect the West. That is, challenge the root cause of the problem, Islamist terrorism. And to be clear, I believe the only leader who can do this, who is bold, courageous, strategic, and have a real shot at making it work, is President Trump. Our State Department keeps a long list of terrorist organizations and the countries they are operating within. Beyond that, we know where the major actors are based. You can go online and see on the internet. Many very good groups, research groups, think tanks, they've laid it all out. It's right there. Of course, they're not only in the Middle East, these terrorist organizations, but many are. And it's a good place to start, particularly since we have this outstanding foundation, this platform, the Trump peace deal. The president is singularly qualified and capable of extending his diplomatic, economic, and yes, military reach into these countries where he has built special relationships to begin the difficult and complex process of unraveling, starving, isolating, and eliminating these terror operations. Some of these countries will welcome such an initiative, as their monarchies or their military dictatorships fear for their own survival, because these terrorists seek to overthrow several of them. I'm thinking of countries like Jordan and Egypt, among others. Some will resist because they're harboring terrorists or have been funding terrorists or somehow promoting terrorists and have relationships and understanding with terrorists, such as Qatar, such as Saudi Arabia. Yes, name them. There will also be the complexity of decades of cultural and societal indoctrination, which exists all over the Middle East, especially in these Palestinian communities, which is why not a single Arab and or Muslim country would accept a single Palestinian, which is why Egypt, run by Sisi, a military dictator, built a big, tall, wide wall on their border with Gaza to prevent any Palestinians from coming into Egypt. This won't be easy, of course, but nobody's tried. And the Trump peace plan and the work the president and his team have done leading up to it creates the opportunity like never before and may never present itself again. Phase 2 of the Trump peace plan will determine whether Hamas survives, whether Hamas can be disarmed or not, not only now, but into the future, whether Gaza will be effectively demilitarized and so forth. Hamas is a monstrous terrorist organization, like Al-Qaeda, that killed 3,000 of our citizens, ISIS, the mothership, the Muslim Brotherhood. The list is long. They're not part of the peace plan. Hezbollah and the Houthis are not part of the peace plan. They remain a dire threat to Israel, to Lebanon, to Yemen, and of course to our country. They've killed hundreds of Americans and they threaten our homeland. We need the help of these new friends and acquaintances, these Arab and Muslim nations. If that's what they are, now's the time. Now's the time for the rubber to hit the road. It's one thing to talk about what Israel should do. It's one thing to talk about Hamas. It's another when these countries look at their own territory, they look at their own policies, they look at their own decisions, and they now have to have skin in the game. It's one thing, again, for them to agree to a peace plan that doesn't strictly involve them, and another to do what we need them to do in this instance. And so we not only understand that the real problem, which is not the West, which is not America, which is not Israel, and confront it by building on the Trump peace plan, taking advantage of the unity the president has developed with these countries. The root of the problem, Islamist terrorism, will not relent, which is precisely why we're not about to disarm, as I said earlier, our counterterrorism infrastructure, are we? No. Because the root of the problem exists. I don't know if it ever can be solved. I don't know. Now's a perfect opportunity to try. That would be eternal peace if it can be accomplished. Again, I'm not sure it can be. But now that these countries are supposedly aligned with us, are friends with us, now that we've had this huge historic change in the Middle East, I think we need to think bigger. This isn't about Israel, two-state solution. The attack on 9/11 had nothing to do with the two-state solution or Israel. The efforts through immigration and other means to conquer the West has nothing to do with Israel or a two-state solution. This is bigger. It's very important that our leaders understand the ideology and the mindset that we are dealing with. The Arab countries do. The Muslim countries certainly do. Well, if we have this big brotherhood going on right now, let's take advantage of it. The president has built this foundation. He has relationships with these people. It's now or never.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.